Afternoon. I wanted to do a quick, just my opinion, my review on the Oakley Plantaris. These have been out since late last year. They were extremely hard to come by at first. They're pretty pricey. They're a nod to Oakley's X-Metal era, which is extremely popular. So many O fans love it. The lenses, from what I've heard, the factory lenses are a great substitute for the Romeos. They're similar in style and everything. If you haven't seen a review of these yet, the big thing I wanted to focus on personally was two parts: the customization capability. So I've heard, and I'm part of the Oakley forum, that they're going to be on the OCP program, the Oakley Customized program. So let's hope for that. But what I've seen for the videos, and the instructions I've seen on some of the lens sites now that a lot of places are making them, as they say, you just push them out. That is the wrong way to do these lenses, and you'll tear up the frames, you'll tear up you'll chip away at the lenses. Oakley designed these things to be modular, which is fantastic. Like, they were forward thinking. It was like they've been fully intended from the beginning to make them customizable, because there's a screw back here where the little frog leg piece, if you will, that makes up the comfort. It's a silicone over like some type of moldable, probably aluminum, if I had to guess, temple piece at the end. But then these notches at the back, back here, are made to pop up. Okay, that doesn't unseat the lens, but it locks the frame together. So you unseat these in the back. It's kind of like a transformer. You pop the two legs up. But then here, where the frame comes together, it actually, let me see if I can get it right. It actually separates, right? Very easily. Then at that point, you just take the lens out. So none of this pushing, trying to force them in and out like a standard composite frame, where you could potentially chip the lens, damage the frame. Oakley designed them purposefully to be modular. You could tell they put that kind of thought, and it's very flexible, so you're not going to break it when you do this. It's a nice, sturdy material. When you get the lens seated back in, you push the pieces back together. They fit, they have grooves, so you just set them back together, and they seat like they should, they look like they should. You lock that piece down, and your lens will be in there. So we'll go ahead and pop this one back in. In this case, they haven't made a red lens yet, factory-wise, that they've released anyway, in the 6 iterations they've got so far. There's 4 base and then 2 collaborations. There's the Seek collection, which are the Vapor White, and there's the Satisfy, and one other. But there's been no reds, there's been no blues, no greens. It's all been grays, bronze, tungsten, browns, whatever, which truthfully kind of boring. Other than I was wrong, there has been a blue. There's the Stonewash with the deep water prism, so go ahead and lambast me in the comments for that. I forgot I have them. I actually have my deep blue lenses, deep water prism, and a black frame right now, because I sent my Stonewash frames to Line Gear in Japan, who makes the emerald lenses for us. Yes. And they're on their way back to me now. Thank you to Sean Wayne for that. They'll be here Monday. Can't wait. I'm going to do a review on that and see how they look. Been impatiently waiting. I'm sure Sean could tell you, because emerald is one of those colors that Oakley got rid of in the mid 2010s era, that people love. For whatever reason, they got rid of it. It's extremely popular. It's a dark green mirror on a black base or a gray base. It's almost like wearing a black lens, but a very nice green mirror, really heavy, nice VLT rating, and hopefully factory-wise they'll bring it back one day. But in the interim, Line Gear is there to save our asses and bring it back to us. Thank you again, Line Gear, and Sean Wayne, for working with me. That was that made my day that we could get that done. So if you haven't ordered yours yet, definitely contact Sean, or you'll be able to order them, I'm sure, directly from Line Gear at some point. So while I've been talking, I was putting the lenses back in, so let's get back to the sunglasses themselves. So I told you can just pop it out, separate it in. Well, at that point, and these are by Revent, so they've got a notch to them and an edge. Let's see if I can get it to focus up here. Nope, it's not going to do it for me. There we go. So they did theirs with like a little bit of a like a shelf, if you will. So they have, let's see if we can get it to show it. There we go. So you see how it's got a decline from the thing, and that helps it set into the notch that's inside the frame here. And all you have to do, you'll separate the lens enough, it's going to set right in there. You take that part down where the nose and bridge come together, you push them together, it's going to set right in there. Should marry up, no problem. Push down on the back, and your lenses are in there. They're nice and secure, not going anywhere. Every one of the lenses I've gotten for these so far, whether it's been by Fuse, Seek, and now Revent, have been perfect fit. First time, no issues whatsoever. They all have their unique colors. So your big three now are supporting this frame. Took them a while. I don't know. I think some were holding off to see like how limited the release was going to be. But Fuse and Seek were one of the first two, or like the first two to do it, and then Revent over the last couple weeks has finally done it. These are my Revent Midnight Sun that are in here. This is the elite tier. They have the anti-reflective coating, all the bells and whistles that come in your Revent lenses, and they look great. They are fantastic for these frames. Love the design of the frame, the old school Oakley feel. It's like the Romeo and I jacket had a baby. The classic eye jacket, mind you, not the new one. And so what I love about it though is that rubberized grips in the back, and you can spread them out, pull them in, pull them out, whatever. I got a big head, so I like that, even though the temples are offset and then they narrow back in, you can tweak these out as, give yourself some adjustable comfort. So, and then the other pair I got, these came yesterday, the Matte Vapor White with and I put in the Revent Ice Blue, which is very similar to the color palette of the Prism Sapphire. Has the same kind of purple hints and hues, blue, and the same kind of color viewing when you're looking at it out in the sun. It's got, if you've ever used those before, it's kind of got that same kind of brownish amber, like warm view. And again, you just pop the two little nose pieces up, pull to the side, drop your old lens out, put your new ones in, clip, clip, you're good to go. And then because all these companies send you little microfiber bags and everything, you just put the factory lenses in them and put them in the box and just write down what they are. I take, for my Fuse, for example, lenses, I'll write out here on the ledge, like Plantaris Rose Gold. Or if they're in the Revent, which I don't have by me right now, they come with a sleeve and then a thing on the sleeve where the sticker is. I'll put what lens I put in there with it. Prism Gray, Prism Black, whatever the factory lens was that came out. And these also look great and fantastic. I thought they popped really well, the blue against the white. But I might move them around, put them in the sand instead, the sand frame. So that's the Revent. And then some of the other ones I've gotten, these are called the Fusion lenses, which very unique. This is the first time I've ordered these. These are actually a very, pleasant surprise to me. I've never used Fuse's Fusion lens, which is the Fusion is the color tone. It's a gold, okay? I don't know why they called it Fusion, but gold. What I really like is the blue field of view. It's got a grayish, cool blue field of view. Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting more of an amber base because it's a gold lens. Bronzes, browns tend to usually be on amber bases. And I believe for Oakley, they are on an amber base or a brown base. So that was kind of a surprise that the gold ended up being a blue, like a cool tone, kind of like the Oakley Positive Red. So that was a pleasant surprise. So I'm looking forward to getting another pair of these. I actually ordered the Fusion Pro and the Nova Pro and the Midnight Blue Pro now that they're by Fuse, because they're in stock. That gives you the polarization. They hadn't made them in that yet, but they will now. So again, these are the Fusion gold mirror, like a nice bluish, color tone. There we go. So really like that field of view. And these here are the Nebula Green. These are by Seek Optics that I put in here. And these remind me a lot of the Jade. They've got the greens and the blues. And then when you get to the sides, they look like a blue lens. And it's another nice neutral field view, a little bit of a rose. I think they're on a rose base if I remember correctly, because I've done it. I did one for them. But they look great, they fit great, nice high caliber. These are polarized with the AR coating as well. So again, just I love the customization of these. I'm hoping once they get to the OCP program, you'll be able to customize the icons, the little bullets or hinge, pieces here to match. Be cool if you get like an anodized green to go with the green lens and an anodized green on the O's, and maybe like some neon green or something back here. It's just stuff to help them pop. And because there's so many pieces, you've got the back half of the stem, the front half, the icons, the little bullets for the hinges, the nose pieces, and then the frame itself, where that lens housing is 2 pieces. So, you've already seen it in the fern, like there's a dark brown, I believe, with a green translucent. These are translucent black with matte black. The stonewash are solid, as are the vapor, white. So gives you a lot of customization play here. So I'm really excited to see if they do follow through with the customization program, what they allow us to tweak and tailor on them, because there is so much variability here. What you can do with this frame specifically, and it's a very unique looking frame. So that's my 2 cents on the Plantaris. I've got I think like 9 frames of them. If you look up, they're very expensive. So if you thought I bought them at cost, I didn't. I hunted around for deals, was able to get some for a little bit on Oakley SI, as well as like Easy Contacts and Sunglass Hut and some other promos through Father's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Hopefully they'll have some for Labor Day. Things like that. Because while I think they're great, I don't think they're $300 to $400 sunglasses. I think they're closer to, especially if they're only going to recommend grays and blacks and they're not going to have any color to them. I really don't think they're a $300 to $400 pair of sunglasses. I think they're more like a $175 to $250 at most. Now, if you start letting us really tweak them out and customize them, now you can get up into that higher, especially if we get into the metal. We've heard in the community there's like the potential for like a titanium version. That would be awesome. Obviously more expensive, because if you've looked at the Savitars, the Contrails, the Sutro TIs, and the Holbrook TIs, they've done a recent memory. Those are all 300 plus. Usually 275 is the low end, but 350 to 400 in the titanium world. So if these are already in the 300 before we get to titanium, and I think they're charging that because of the harkening back to that Romeo, and people will pay it. Like I said, if you want them, just be smart, and then you can find good deals. There's plenty of resellers out there, people that either work for Oakley or third-party retailers that are willing to use their corporate discount and then flip them. So just be patient if you're looking for a particular pair. Like these came from Easy Contacts. I got them for less than 200 bucks. The matte vapors, they came with the factory release thing, and then I swapped out the boring gray lenses they came with and put in the nice ice blue, and got what I wanted, all for less than, I don't know, 250 bucks. I guarantee you when Oakley puts them out with blue, it's going to be close to 300 probably. If they do that with a Prism Sapphire, for example, or a Prism Ruby in the case of these with the red. So the Prism Gold. So that's the unfortunate part, is that they charge a premium for some of the lenses, not necessarily because of the cost, but because of the demand. So like I said, just be smart. You can find them, pretty good deal. So that's my 2 cents on these. They're great. Lightweight, comfortable all day, adjustable temples, easy to modify and pop in the lens colors you want. And pretty much everybody supports them now. So I think the last big name partner we're waiting on is Sunglass Fix, because Line Gear does them. They've previously done all the X metals, so that's nice. They picked them up. Thank you again to Sean Wayne for that. And the folks at Line Gear, you've got Revent, longtime established third-party lens company, Seek Optics out of Pennsylvania, Revent's out of California. or not California, Portland, sorry. Don't want to dirty up their name. Portland, Oregon. And then you got Fuse, which is out of Florida. So you got 3 US-based companies and Japanese-based company, all producing their lenses in-house. And really quick turnaround, great quality, perfect fits first time, to give you lots of color and customization options. So that's my 2 cents on the Plantaris. Having never owned the X metals, I feel like I'm getting a chance at something that, you know, usually if you go to buy them, they're a couple $100s to thousands of dollars, depending on what you're looking for. And the quality and the care that's been kept with them, if they're original, been maintained, been given the love, getting all the bushings and everything redone and everything. I had 1 pair at the time. My head was too small. Now that I got a fat head because I'm old, jokingly. I wish I could have them back. I got rid of a pair of Juliets like an idiot. I wish I still had them back. But anyway, can't say enough about the Plantaris. Pick them up if you like the old school X metals. I'm not a beak person. I don't ever wear that beak. My mom blessed me with a very narrow beak. I don't need a bonus beak, maybe a beak protector, but whatever. I just think they're very sharp looking, with just as is, even though they come with that nose protector thing. But if that's your thing, great. So that's my 24 cents or whatever you want to call it, and lots of rambling. Have a good day.